Be a voice, not an echo. I've always liked that quote. 1, because it's only got 6 words. You see, I was born at a very young age, and anything over 7 words is hard for me to remember. 2, because it's a great way to explain story. The echo is the ordinary world, and the voice is what the hero discovers when they leave it. I should actually say rediscover, but that's a lesson for another time. Almost every story ever written starts in the ordinary world, and those that don't quickly find their way there. That's because every story is about change, and showing what's changed is the first step in understanding why. For those of you who are aspiring writers, don't rush through the ordinary world to get to the action. It's where we bond with the hero and establish the rules of your story. You want people to care about your hero? This is where you do it. It's one thing to show the hero sad because their spouse died. You want us to be sad? You gotta show the relationship. So what is the ordinary world? Well, it's ordinary, and it's full of ordinary people. This is by design. You see, the ordinary world is the result of the fall of paradise, and the rules and structure found there are specifically designed to keep that fall from ever happening again, and to keep it from getting worse. Not only does the ordinary world establish the rules of your story, but also the rules for your hero. This is why some stories have a character called the lawgiver, whose only job is reminding the hero to stay in their lane. And why? Because it's impossible to control people who don't think alike. Thinking for yourself means having original thoughts. If everything we think comes from a book or someone else, it means we're an echo and a citizen of the ordinary world. In the real world, it's anything that creates a safe space and a status quo. They usually have a hierarchy of some sort and desperately try to convince you that following the rules of that hierarchy is somehow moral. It can be a governing body, religion, or even educational in nature. But one thing they always have in common is that their existence is dependent on the citizens of the ordinary world believing in lack. The brilliance of this programming is that it's fear-based, which means it's self-regulating. This is why the ordinary world is championed as a city on a hill, a light of progress and prosperity that only the ignorant would ever even think about leaving. I'm not going to quit my job and start my own company. It just isn't practical. And we've all seen what happens to people that go over those walls. Out there be dragons. This is why there are so few heroes. In fact, it's better to not even peek over those walls. Can't risk allowing us to see people who are actually free. Might give us ideas. The ordinary world is a system of control, and this control is accepted because we believe it has our best interests at heart. It's built on a philosophy of us versus them, where anyone who goes against the norm is demonized. This not only keeps people thinking the same way, but also serves to keep everyone in line. Citizens are kept busy with the superficial bread and circus of the rat race and entertainment in order to keep them from noticing the wound festering beneath the surface. This wound is the life source of the ordinary world. Advertisement couldn't exist without it, which is why healing it means immediate expulsion. The heroes the citizens are allowed to have always magically mirror the desires of those in charge of the ordinary world. Their entire reason for existing is to serve as a distraction, and it's a role they play to perfection. So, what gets the hero out of the ordinary world? This is called the call to adventure, and it is usually always followed by refusal of the call. Why? Because people are blinded by their own knowledge. Studies show this is especially true of scientists, teachers, and doctors. A 1999 study showed teachers actually don't want their students showing signs of creativity. And a 2010 study from the University of Pennsylvania showed that people reject new ideas because thinking too hard is uncomfortable. As physicist Max Planck put it, science advances one funeral at a time. The call to adventure is the first chink in the ordinary world's armor. It's the first hint that everything the hero knows is wrong. The discovery and acceptance of this truth is the backbone of every story ever told. And it's true in story because it's true in us. When we fail to make this discovery, we not only fail to be the hero in our own story, but we become an NPC in someone else's. Those that do become the hero inevitably return to the ordinary world, excited to share what they've learned with friends and loved ones. At first, they're welcomed back, but eventually, it becomes clear they no longer belong. it's impossible to rejoin the collective. Prophets are never welcome in their hometown. And eventually, insults like conspiracy theorists, science denier, or you've been deceived by the devil force the hero back into solitude, where they become the mentor to the next hero, and the cycle starts again. Obedience and consent are products of abuse and disempowerment. The hardest battle you will ever fight is staying yourself in a world desperately trying to make you like everyone else. It's okay to visit the ordinary world. Just don't get comfortable. It's not your home. There's only one story. There's only one person in that story. And that person is you.